Hi, I'm Matt Murdoch. I am Town Council member in the town of Pinedale, Wyoming. There are 4 key elements that describe the basic responsibilities of the governing body: strategic management, human resource management, financial management, and organizational management. Let's discuss each of these broad responsibilities. Strategic management is the most important part of our job as a governing body. You're responsible for helping craft the overall vision and mission of the community. To begin, here are some things to ask yourself. What are the town's core responsibilities to its constituents? Why does your municipality exist? What is the value you give to your citizens? Defining the guiding values gives you a framework for your municipal organizational structure. This guides how tasks should be done, how the organization should operate on a daily basis, and how services should be provided. Setting goals is an important function for a government body. Why? Because it gets everyone pulling together. It helps you spend your time more effectively, and it helps set clear guidelines for staff. It also gives you useful budget guidelines, as well as helping you communicate with constituents and build support for programs and policies, as well as giving you, finally, an evaluation tool. Policy development is another integral part of strategic management. As you adapt goals and objectives during strategic planning, you need to adopt policies for the general operations of your community. Human resource management begins with the mayor. Under Wyoming state statutes, unless otherwise provided by law, the mayor has superintending control of all officers and affairs of the community. In both incorporated towns and first-class cities, and unless otherwise provided by ordinance, the department heads are appointed by the mayor with the consent of the governing body. The mayor may also remove them for cause. All other appointments and removals, except the appointment of members of a board or commission, are made by the mayor without consent of the governing body, unless consent is required by a separate statute or ordinance. The governing body establishes wage and salary systems, develops job descriptions, sets terms of appointment, sets requirements for a promotion or suspension, and acts as the hearing body for appeals from disciplinary actions of the mayor. In a city manager form of government, and most town or city administrator forms of government, all employees are hired and terminated by the city manager or administrator. The governing body generally has no responsibility for the day-to-day supervision of the municipality, unless the community is very small and there is a limited staff. In these cases, the mayor and the individual council members are, by necessity, much more hands-on. As one of the elected officials of your community, it's your job to provide for the needs and wants of the people who elected you. You will need to help your constituents understand how your city is financed and what revenue sources are available. The preparation and adoption of a budget is a key responsibility of the governing body. In all cities and towns, money cannot be spent on anything that isn't included in your budget. You are ultimately responsible for approving the fiscal budget and providing financial oversight. This means you need to examine financial and budget reports, monitor investments, and measure budget goals, as well as approve contracts. Speaking of budgets, let's get into financial management, and know that size matters. There are different financial and budgeting requirements for towns over 4,000 in population and for first-class cities. Make sure you know which statutes apply to your community. Unless changed by charter ordinance, all communities with a population over 4,000 and all towns operating under the city manager form of government must comply with the provisions of the Uniform Municipal Fiscal Procedures Act. This act stipulates publication requirements, the required contents of the municipal budget, and dates by which certain budgetary actions must occur. Organizational management covers the general oversight responsibilities of the governing body. The success of city and town government depends, to a large degree, upon cooperation between the governing body and the mayor or city manager. The mayor supervises all officers and affairs of the city or town, sees that the ordinances and laws are complied with, administers oaths, and signs commissions, appointments, bonds, contracts, and other obligations in the name of the city or town. These are called executive powers. The mayor also has legislative powers, which means he or she presides over all the meetings of the governing body, presenting information and making recommendations. The mayor only has one vote on all matters, but does have the power to veto. They can veto any ordinance, order, bylaw, resolution, award, a vote to enter into any contract, or the allowance of any claim. However, a veto can be overridden. Because the governing body does not have time to manage everyday operations, they must hire a staff, and it is the mayor and the council's job to support and trust this staff. A typical staff in all cities and towns, it doesn't matter what size, includes a manager or administrator, clerk, treasurer, human resources, public works, public utilities, police, and a fire department. No individual council member has authority over the staff. Everyone must work together to focus on what needs to happen, establish what the boundaries are, and then give the staff the freedom to execute. Remember, the governing body can't get anything done alone. It's all about teamwork, cooperation, and mutual respect.